So the question is, as we come to the end of our session, what's the difference between a spiritual awakening or just plain going crazy? Well, going crazy, which would include things like psychosis, neurosis, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and the list goes on, are often the result of a trauma that disconnects you from your source. Something deeply traumatic happens in your life. You start disconnecting even more from your source, from the God within. This causes psychosis. Eventually, the further you get from the source within, the more neurotic or psychotic or depressed you become. So this is typically what typical going crazy happens. The spiritual awakening is different. Spiritual awakening is often the feeling of what we would call depression, the world being turned upside down, a loss of passion. This is the result of releasing the tight grip that you've had on your human identity. So the spiritual awakening, it is like a loss. It's the loss of the connection you've had with your human identity. But what's happening is as you release that grip on who you thought you were, you start to understand who you really are. You recreate or reconnect with your source and spirit. Typical going crazy, typical mental imbalance is the result of trauma that disconnects you from your source, from the source within. Spiritual awakening is quite different. It's actually releasing the grip that you've had on your human identity so that you can discover and experience who you truly are. This is the big difference. I think there's a lot of confusion about depression, about anxiety, and about the loss of passion for people who are awakening. They confuse it with the more typical mental imbalance, but what's really happening here is you're letting go of the grip on the human identity.